bienvenidos. Hello. As you guys can see for the title, today we are doing my makeup inventory. Okay, you guys. I know. So, I updated this about about a week or so ago, right after the new year. I put all of my numbers in here, and there are some slight changes, but I'm not going to change the numbers now. There are a few things that I've already finished that were really close. I'm just not going to tweak it. I'm just going to show you what it is. I've already taken photos of everything, so it's just going to be more work for me to tweak it. So I'm just going to let it be. Let it be. Today we are doing my makeup inventory. We're going to compare it to last year, and I even have 2021's numbers if you're curious about those. If you're interested, stay tuned. All right, you guys, so how we're going to structure this is I am going to actually show you guys photos of this year and photos of last year. I couldn't find them. I couldn't find photos of my last year's inventory, but I do have the actual numbers. So what I did is I went back to last year's makeup inventory video and I screenshotted the actual products that I was sharing with you guys because I did overhead last year. So going forward, I am going to keep this year's so that I can compare it to next year. I think it's fun to hear the numbers and see the numbers, but it's also something else when you actually see the difference in the photos, because I may have the same numbers, but it's completely different products. Now, I'm gonna say this again. If it's too many products for me to take a photo in one shot, you're going to see multiple drawers. For instance, my lipsticks, my blushes, my highlighters, that kind of stuff. And I'm not gonna compare those photos to last year because I've rearranged my makeup a few times, so it's not gonna look the same, it's not gonna be the same. So when those numbers come up, you'll see last year's and this year's, but you're not gonna see the comparison photos just because it's overwhelming and too much. You're not gonna really see a difference unless you're sitting there grabbing each photo and doing find the difference between each photo kind of thing. So for the things that are in the drawers, I'm just going to show you guys this year's photo just to make it easier on the eyes and easier for me because I don't even know what changed, but I know things have changed. One last thing that I say every single year, these are the categories I'm sharing with you guys, the categories that I want to work on, the categories that I want to bring down. I'm not showing you guys or sharing any numbers with any eye products at all. None of my eye products for two reasons. One, it's a lot of things, and I am not wanting to lower certain categories. Like, I know how much I have, and I know how to control myself. But the second reason that I don't want to share with you guys, I don't want anybody to burst my bubble. Yes, a lot of you guys are curious. A lot of you guys just want to be nosy and know how many eyeshadow palettes I have, how many eye products I have. I have those numbers, and I don't have a problem sharing with it. But because I indulge and enjoy my eye products, I don't want anybody to burst my bubble with a constructive criticism, which is not constructive criticism, and saying, oh, that's a lot of eyeshadow products, you know you're not going to use them all, then you're gonna waste them, or you're wasting your money. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I'm not putting myself in that position for somebody to ruin that love for me, that enjoyment for me by sharing my numbers, because you know somebody's going to come out here disguised as a normal person, but you know they really are a Karen, and they're going to go ahead and burst my bubble. So I just don't share those numbers at all. I know how much I have, and I know where I need to work myself on, and I know I can't go overboard on certain things, and I'm in control of that, and I'm good. So I'm not going to share those numbers. I have never shared them before, and I don't plan on sharing them. I know I get a lot of comments saying, why don't I share them? You never answer that, blah, 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 blah. That's the reason why. I don't want my bubble to be burst. Let me enjoy what I have. Let me indulge in what I want without somebody having to burst that bubble and make an unnecessary comment that I didn't ask for. So I'm not going to put myself in that position because you know what's going to happen. Okay, so now that we have all the housekeeping out of the way, let's get into the numbers. So first up, we're going to start out with our face primers. You're going to see two different photos and the numbers above the photos, or however it is that I'm going to edit it throughout this whole entire video. So you're not going to really see my face, you're going to see the photos. So face palettes, in January of 2022, I had one. And currently, as of today, I still have one. Obviously, these are different primers from what I had before. So they are, I want to keep it to one. I'm happy with what I have. I think the one that I have, I really like. The next one I want to try is the Tarte one. The reason why I purchased the L'Oreal one was because the Tarte one was out of stock, but I do want to use it and then go ahead and try the Tarte one. One is where I want to be, one is where I always want to be, and where I want to stay. So just letting you know, I'm good with that category. For foundations, last year I had 4, and as of today I have 2. My goal was to get to 2, and I am currently at 2, and I will always stay at 2. I love this. Unless I get things in PR or as gifts, this is where I want to be. The 2 that I have, only 1 has rolled over from last year, and I am almost done with it. I probably have about 2 months worth of the Clinique foundation. The Too Faced one is newer. It's not even a year old in my collection, but I do have some use on it. There are foundations I do want to try, new ones that have come out. And I do want to repurchase my Smashbox one. I really do enjoy that one. So the ones that I currently have are not necessarily the ones that I will most likely have by next year. And 2 is where I want to stay. So I'm very excited. And I went down by 2. So I'm content. I'm really, really happy with this number compared to where I was a few years ago. For powders, last year I had 7. Currently, I have 5. I don't specifically have a number target for this category. 5 is okay. I still think it's a little bit excessive for what a powder does for my face. I don't mind having maybe 3, 1 for the under eye, 1 for everyday use, and then 1 that's mattifying for the summertime. So I don't mind having that. I'm happy that I've been able to use 2 up, and I currently am almost done with another one. So I'm getting there, you guys. I'm getting there. I have not purchased any powders. I don't think I have any new ones that have come into my collection. So I'm good. I'm good. I think we're on the right track with this one. For correctors, last year I had 1. Currently I have 2. The reason why I have 2 is because 1 was sent in free gift with purchase, and the other one I did purchase myself. The one that I purchased myself is currently the one that I am using. The one that was sent as a free gift is a full size from Clinique. I have used it to make sure I do like it. It is okay. It is more of a thinner consistency, so it doesn't really cover 100% what I want. I think I have to use a different type of blending tool in order for it to be more full coverage for me, because I have really dark inner circles, like inside of my inner corners more. So that's where I concentrate it. So I just have to figure out a way to play with it. I don't mind it. I like the consistency of it. It's just I wouldn't have picked it myself, but it was a free gift last year. So I currently have 2, and I don't have any plans on purchasing anymore. Brow powder, gels, or pencil, or brow powders or pencils. So this is anything to do with my brows. Last year I had 3. Currently I have 2. I used 1 up, you guys. This was nothing where I purchased any products in here. The one that I used was the It Cosmetics Brow Power Pencil, and you guys know those take a century to use, as you can see through the numbers. Currently, I still have 1 that's full size, and then my Anastasia Brow Powder. I have used both, and I've been interchanging both to make sure that I do like both, and I do want to keep them and not declutter them. So I'm currently using the pencil and the powder. I'm alternating them every other week just to get more use out of each of them and not make myself feel like I need to purchase a new product, because sometimes the pencil is a lot quicker in days that I need to get my makeup done quicker than the powder. So I do want to extend the life of the pencil a little bit longer and use the powder to get my use out of it as well. So 2's okay. Eventually I want to get to 1 and only 1, and it'll most likely be the powder. The brow gels. Last year I had 2. Currently I still have 2. The 2 that I have now are not the 2 that I had last year. This year I repurchased the Almay Brow Gel. And like I mentioned in my empties, that's going to be a little bit harder to find. I believe they're discontinuing that or something, because I can't find it anywhere really. But I was able to repurchase it, and then I did get the Ulta Brow Gel in a free gift with purchase during the holiday season. Now, I did hear my friend Rebecca from Panning and Stuff mention that brow gel in her empties, and she said it never dried down and it was always wet. So I'm going to try it out soon, and if I don't like it, that will be thrown in the trash, because I don't think it's good to give it to somebody else. So I may end up being to 1, and that's where I want to stay. I don't think I need more than 1 brow gel in my collection. For bronzers, we're talking about powder bronzers only. Last year I had 47. And this year I currently have 34. This happened because I used up one and then the rest I decluttered. I've mentioned this before. Last year I did declutter quite a bit of my collection. I did have family that were getting into makeup and I took advantage of it and I gave them a boatload of makeup. Like, I mean, they are set for centuries with makeup, these ladies. So I was more than happy to give up a lot of things that I knew I wasn't going to get to, that I was just holding on to, or that were newer in my collection. So I'm down by 13 bronzers. 34, I still feel like it's a lot, but the ones that I have, I genuinely enjoy. I have a lot that work throughout the whole entire year. I have matte ones, I have matte ones, and then I also have glowy ones. So there's an occasion for all of them, and I rotate through them as much as I possibly can. A lot of my bronzers are a lot of products, so I don't see myself using up any this year, but who knows? I might be able to. But 34, okay, I can take that one. Cream or liquid bronzers. Last year I had one, currently I have one, and it is not the same. You guys know I used up my cream bronzer from last year, the NARS one, and I repurchased it, and I currently have pan in that one as we speak. So I have a feeling next year I will be repurchasing the NARS one yet again. That's the one that I love, the one that I enjoy, and the one that I will always have. So one I am content with, no problems there. For blush, again, remember I did a declutter. So I started out the year last year with 180, and currently I have 155 blushes. I have decluttered 25 blushes. I did not use any of these. Again, there's a lot of blushes that I like the formula of, so I have more of like collections than I do individual ones. I only purchased one blush this year, and it made up because I decluttered a ton. So I washed that out because I brought one in, but I let go of 24 other blushes. I think that this is still excessive, but the ones that I have, I really enjoy and rotate. And again, I mentioned this before. If I were to declutter all of my blushes and only keep like 5 or 10, it will trigger me to purchase more, because then I'll start thinking, well, I don't have that finish and I don't have that color specifically and I don't have that brand. If I keep the ones that I have and just enjoy the ones that I have, it helps and curves my spending. As you guys can see, I bought one blush and it was because it was literally about $10 on sale at a CCO, and I didn't have any color like it. It was very, very unique to my collection. So that's the reason why I bought it, because it was a very distinct color. It helps me to keep my collection, and I really do enjoy what I have. It's not that I'm just keeping it to curve my spending. I really do like the ones that I have. So I know 155 sounds like a lot, but from 180, I think that's a big jump, and I'm very happy about that. Liquid or cream blushes. Last year I had 3, currently I have 3, and the 3 that I have, only one is still the same, and that is my MAC natural one in the Glow Play. The other 2 are new. I did purchase those last year in the ColourPop one, and I love all 3. I have a lot of cream products in my face palette, so I don't want it to be past 3. I think that if I could get it down to 1, I think that's even better, but I'm content with the 3 because I can manage the 3. All the cream and liquid blushes that came out last year, I was not at all bothered or wanting to purchase anything, which makes me proud that my willpower has grown a lot, which is very, very exciting to hear. Highlighters. These are powder highlighters. Last year I had 148. Currently I have 120. I went down by 28. 2 I did use up to their capacity, and then the rest, the other 26, left my collection. I really sat down and swatched all of my highlighters and let go of the ones that were deeper skin tone, the one that I was just keeping for my body, the ones that I just couldn't find somebody to enjoy. And because the ladies that I gave my makeup to are deeper, darker skin tone, this was my perfect opportunity because they can actually use them and it looks amazing on their skin. So I decluttered that many. I only used up 2 out of that 28 that I got rid of. So 120 is still a lot. But I'm trying to get my blush and my highlighter collection under 100, but that's going to take me a while, you guys. And I'm not just going to declutter just to show my numbers to look amazing. It's just gonna, this is how it's gonna be for a few years. Cream or liquid highlighters. Last year I had 6. Currently I have 3. The 3 that I have, I know I will use on my body. I don't know if it'll work on my face, but I will use on my body in the summertime. So at least I know I can get 1, maybe 2 out this year. I don't know if I can get out more than that, but I think I'm ready at this point to not have any cream or liquid highlighters. And once I'm done all 3 of them, I'm not going to purchase any. At least as of today, that's how I feel. We'll see in the future if that changes. Eye primers. Last year I had 9. Currently I have 6. Now that is because a few have come into my collection at the end of the year. And I didn't buy any, to be honest with you guys. I went down by 3 because I used up the 3 that I did have. So that's interesting to me. I thought I had less than this, but I guess not. Once I looked at my numbers, this is what I had. I just used up 1 because it was almost done from last year. It was a very mini size. And then I think I could get another 1 done this year. I don't know. 3 seems to be reasonable for a year. So I think maybe I can only get done 2 or 3 depending on the size of them. So I'm still holding off on the Milani one. I'll get it eventually. Eyeliner pencils. If you saw my empties, you guys know this is going to go down drastically. Last year I had 33, which is so stupid. This year I have 14. I went down by 19, and you guys saw that empties, how many I used up, how many I think I decluttered maybe 1 or 2. But the majority of these were used up in a certain way. This will be the last season. I have spring season that I could use up a few more for the soccer team, but then after that, I am on my own. I'm on my own to use these up. So we'll see how many I can use up, if I can get any more out of my collection. Eventually, I just want to have a black and brown, and that's it. Gel liners. So these are the Pop Form ones. Last year I had 14. Currently I have 8. I went down by 6 because I decluttered them. As you guys know, I do not reach for gel liners as often anymore, but I still love them. And the ones that I have are different from one another, where I don't feel like I have 8 blacks. So I'm good, and I'm going to keep it this way until they dry out or I use them up, whatever comes first. Lash glue. Last year I had 2. I still have the same 2, and I have a feeling one of them I'm going to have to throw out this year. I've had it for too long. I'm starting to realize it's getting a little bit thicker in its consistency and not working as well as it used to. So I think I'm going to have to declutter 1 and end up just having 1, and that 1 is fine with me. It's in a tube form, so I think it'll last a little bit longer. I haven't been using lashes as often as I used to, and it's mainly because of time constraint, because I don't have the time to sit there and play around with them sometimes. But I think that I'm good. Once I declutter that 1 is enough. That's all that I need. Mascaras. So last year I had 13. This year I have 11. And the ones that I used up quite a bit of mascaras, but quite a bit came into my collection through PR, gift with purchases, or through friends' gifts. So I only went down by 2, but I used up a ton because that's what happens with mascaras. I try to use them up to buy my own, but then I end up getting some through other means. So I did use a lot. It sounds silly, but I'm still trying to get down to like 2. Eventually I'll get there, but I am always getting some one way, shape, or form where I haven't really had to spend my own money on them. Lipsticks. I had 188 last year, and currently I have 165. Now, the reason why this went down by 23 was not because of declutter. It was more, well, it was declutter because these went bad. As you guys know, I go through my lipstick collection and I make sure that things are being used up or have to get thrown out. And in the same photo that you're looking at, you're going to see liquid lipsticks. This year, I changed up my lip products and categorized them by color. So the liquid lipsticks, I had 153. Currently, I have 127 for the same reason. I did not give away any lip products. I threw out anything that went bad. So I went down in the lipsticks by 23 and went down by the liquid lipsticks by 26. So I ended up going down 49 in total lip products, but it wasn't because I used them up. It was because I ended up having to throw them out. I believe I used up 2, 3 lipsticks out of that. Not much, but this is how it's going to be. I am not giving away any of my lip products to anyone because they're older, and if they go bad, they just go in the trash. I haven't bought any new ones. I haven't brought any new ones in unless they come through PR or through a gift with purchase or a gift. Lip gloss. I had 29. I currently have 25. I used up 3, and I decluttered 1 because I ended up getting sick, and something happened to it. I can't remember what it was. So I went down by 4. This has been consistent, so I'm not upset with it, but I still think 25 is a lot. I'm hoping to get down to like 10 lip glosses one day. Lip liners, I had 21. Currently, I have 14. I went down by 7. I decluttered some, and then I used 3, I believe, or 2 up this year. So I didn't use a lot, but I did declutter some colors that were either too dark for me, and other people could get use out of them. Lip balms. This is a category I'm going to get rid of. I had 3 last year. I currently have 0 because I am not a hoarder of lip balms. I'm not somebody who buys lip balms often. I normally buy a lip balm to use it, not to collect it, if that makes any sense. So I don't feel the need to be keeping track of this, so I'm not going to keep track of these. So this category will be gone next year. I'm not gonna bring this up, and I have 0, so I'm okay with it. Face palettes, you guys. Woo! So for the last 2 years, I've had the same amount, 134. Currently, I have 112. I went down by 22. 2 I used up, 20 I decluttered. These were ones where I sat down and went through to make sure that all the colors I was happy with panning. If a shade was going to be too dark for me, too light for me, didn't like the consistency, it was gone. So I'm happy with this. I still, again, want to get all my numbers under 100 if I can. And this one I'm getting closer to. And I think I only brought in 1 face palette last year, and that was a gift. So I did really, really good. I'm very proud of myself for this one. And the last category is setting sprays. Last year I had 1. Currently I have 3. I used up my 1 last year and realized last year that I wanted to have more in my collection. So I ended up getting a deal on the Urban Decay ones. So currently I have 3, 2 Urban Decay and 1 Anastasia that I got a free gift with purchase that I'm currently using. So I always will have at least 1 in my collection. At least 1. I'm hoping for 2, 1 dewy, 1 matte. But we'll see what the future brings. Okay, you guys, so those are my numbers. I am content with a lot of these. Out of these, I stayed consistent in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 categories. So in 5 categories, I stayed the same from last year to this year. 2 categories I went up in. And I only went up by 3 items in total between both of those categories. All the rest of my categories went down. Every single one of them. So I am actually very proud of myself. I feel like this is my most successful year. Mainly had to do because of decluttering. Decluttering, I don't declutter often, but I found the opportunity to be able to gift items to family members that were wanting to wear makeup more. So I took advantage and I went ahead and I gave a lot of makeup away. Makeup that was never touched, never used, barely used, that they could get use out of and enjoy and love. And looking through my collection, I'm very happy with where I am at. Same thing happened with my eyeshadow palettes. I mentioned this in a video last week. I decluttered over 100 palettes that I didn't think I would ever declutter. I ended up letting go. So I made quite a bit of room in my collection. I am down a certain number that I'm very proud of. I still have a ton of eyeshadow palettes, but the ones that I have, I would love to pan at some point or another or hit pan on those shadows. And if I don't, I change my mind, I feel like I don't want to, they will be donated. I found a place to donate my eyeshadow palettes. So I'm okay with it. This is going to be a slow progress, bringing down my numbers like I mentioned years ago. I'm getting there. I'm slowly trickling. Certain categories are going to be easier than others, and I'm okay with that. I'm not stressing myself out over makeup. It's just makeup at the end of the day. But I am keeping myself accountable with the things that I do bring in and what it is that I have, and stop just spending money just because it's on sale or everyone else is doing it. I'm okay. I'm in my lane and I'm gonna stay in my lane, and I'm doing well in my lane. I still have a ton of makeup, but it's my happy place. It's my happy place, and I'm okay with it. So that's all that I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this format the way that I did it this year. It's just gonna be a little bit easier for me going forward to share with you guys the pictures going forward. Let me know in the comment sections, what do you guys think? Am I doing okay? I know some of these numbers are ridiculous, but they are coming down, you guys. They are coming down, and I'm very, very proud of myself for that. So that's all that I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. More videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.